These guys won't stop talking.
And you can pretty much do it
Felger and Mazz.
in perpetuity.
Yep.
The Sports Hub.
This is probably one of my most fun years playing basketball. It wasn't always perfect. It wasn't always analytically, aesthetically pleasing. But we won a lot of basketball games, and people could see the grit and the fight that we play with every single night. And tonight was an example of that. We left it all out there. We played 5 small guys. We played a rookie. We played whatever, and we scrapped all the way to the end. Just came up a few plays short.
To me, the most important thing with the team is their play style and the coaching and their philosophy and the three-pointers. That, to me, is still number one. But I've been talking about that for 4 effing years. And you know how I feel about that, and you know I'm right. And, we can keep talking about it. But what feels a little fresher to me, Mazz, is the way Jaylen Brown has been talking since they lost. Mm-hmm. And, it's pretty much a bad look for him all the way around. I mean, blaming the refs, playing conspiracies, or the league's out to get him, or an agenda against him, and the refs and the flopping, and bad look when you lose your last 3 home playoff games to a play-in team and you blame the refs. That is a loser move.
Weak.
Number one. But number 2, the one I think is even more significant, is him, even in defeat, carrying on about how much fun he had this year and how it was one of his favorite seasons as an NBA player. Again, think of that. They won a championship. They've gone to finals and won a championship. And Jaylen Brown comes out of this season where they were one and done, losing to a play-in team, and says, this was probably one of my most fun seasons ever in the league. What does that lead me to believe from the outside? What are you talking about? And again, just the real-world example I would give you is if I took a week off and didn't do the show for a week, and Mazz at the end of the week said, it's one of the most fun weeks we've ever had here on the show.
Great week of shows. Let's high-five our guys. What a week. That was fun.
Yeah. How would we all read that?
We would read that as we're better off without you.
Rightfully so is how we would read that. You go 2 months away on a work trip, and your wife says at the end of the 2 months, that was the best 2 months of our marriage.
I loved it.
What else am I led to believe when Jaylen Brown isn't still just talking up this season as probably one of the most fun years he's ever had in the NBA, but also was talking up how much he liked Saturday night, even in defeat. He was talking up how much he liked Saturday night, about the play style, and he wished that we would commit to that more and we would trust that more. He said, I wish again, this is him just talking about Saturday night. I wish we played that style and trusted that style more, even throughout the playoffs, even through wins and losses. Obviously, it wasn't always the easiest decision, but I wish that style for our team was how we empowered the rest of our group and how you saw tonight, how everybody came out and played their tail. So he's pumping up Saturday night, and he's pumping up this past season. And the common denominator in both Saturday night and this past season was that Jayson Tatum wasn't a part of it.
Correct.
And then so how am I supposed to read that?
You're supposed to read it for what you think you're reading it as, which is he's talking about Jayson Tatum like he's an obstacle.
He wants his own thing. And we've always known it. Most of the guys do. I mean, most guys in sports want to be the star. It's not.
But now he's telling you.
And to come out after that kind of loss, where he was largely responsible, and I don't want to say most responsible. The dopey play style and the coach is the biggest reason. But he didn't step up in this thing. But he comes about how much fun he had? Well, how else am I supposed to read that? Now, the Celtics, and certainly their media, have tried so hard to dispel the narrative that Brown and Tatum can't coexist and everyone's just fine with it and all this. But then Jaylen Brown comes out after playing most of the season without Jayson Tatum, and certainly Saturday night without Jayson Tatum, and says how much fun we had and how I love the way we played on Saturday and how much fun I had this season. How else are you supposed to read that?
No, you can't. You just apply common sense to it and realize this guy enjoyed this year because Jayson Tatum wasn't around. While Tatum was also recovering from an injury, sitting there wondering, will I ever be the same ever again? You ever think about that, Jaylen Brown? Nah, this year was the balls. I don't care about him.
So what do you think about Jaylen Brown and his future with the Celtics, Mazz?
I think it's on borrowed time. And I think it's good. Again, I go back to something Gasper said a few weeks ago when he was on with us. And Gasper said, the window on these two guys together is closing. Brown's going to be up for a new contract in a couple of years. And I thought about that and said, well, what are the chances he's going to stay here again? Like, I don't see that. And the numbers are only going to escalate, meaning it's going to cost them even more to keep him. So to me, this thing is, they're reaching the point where they're going to have to make a call. And because based on how they handled this year with regard to payroll and everything else, I don't think they're going to keep them both. And now might be the impetus for them to move on and actually make the move. I think that I'm starting to, I don't know how to say this I'm starting to hear some of the stuff that Jimmy Stewart has been hearing.
Let's hear what you're hearing, Mazz. That's what we want to hear.
Which is that, Jaylen Brown doesn't see himself as part of the core group. And when I say that, I mean he feels frozen out or squeezed out. Frozen's probably too strong because I think that his relationship with Tatum is good. I think his relationship with the organization overall is pretty good.
And I'm going to circle back to this because I want to hear more from you. But people confuse this. Like, this is some personal thing between Brown and Tatum. It's not, and it never was.
He doesn't hate these people.
Open your ears. It's not personal between Brown and Tatum. He doesn't have a personal problem with Jayson Tatum. It's their role.
Correct.
It's their roles. Brown clearly is antsy about his role, not just on the floor, but in the organization and the pecking order. He wants his own team. Can't you tell how happy he was to have it go through him and the play style that resulted in it? But, really more about, I think it's just because it's about him. And so he had a lot of fun doing it, even in defeat in the playoffs, which is a horrible look for him, but that I think is insightful to how he feels. But it's not a personal thing against Tatum. It's about the role. But proceed.
Yeah, I think he sees that group as, the group around whom the Celtics operate. The nucleus of the Celtics is Tatum, and then Mazzulla and White are part of that circle. Okay, Tatum is very close with White, and clearly Mazzulla recognizes that Tatum's his most talented player, and he's built the whole thing around Tatum. So Brown feels left out of that group. And I can't say I blame him. I mean, it's a human thing to feel that way that he feels, and you either have to overcome that or not. And for a 28, 29-year-old guy who was a high pick in the draft, 29, high pick in the draft, took steps this year and now thinks that he can run it, he might be able to, but he knows it'll never be here. As long as Jayson Tatum is here, Jaylen Brown knows that he's going to be behind him. And I think that he wants a shot at doing his own thing, whether it's this year, next year, whenever. And I say this year meaning 26, 27, the next coming season. So to me, at some point, he's going to force that issue. And it's just a question of when, and the Celtics might be wise to look at it now and break him up now.
Isn't he forcing the issue now by jumping on that stream 24 hours after that loss?
I mean, but he has said similar things in the past, Murray.
He has.
Right. And
Not 24 hours after blowing a 3-1 lead for the first time in franchise history.
But the one thing I'll give him credit for, did you ever feel on the court like he was pouting or on strike?
No, it was all off the court stuff.
Okay, so when it comes time to play, he plays.
Yeah.
You see what I'm getting at? In other words, it doesn't get in the way of how he plays. He might not like it all the time, but he hasn't had games where he didn't shoot in a whole half, or there wasn't any of that. For the most part, he's been pretty professional. There have been injuries and things like that, but nothing that you would say, wow, he's really pouting and he doesn't want to play, and it's gotten to the point where it's untenable.
No, I don't think he's ever done that stuff.
No, not even close. Really, not even close. So, but I think it's headed there. I do. And I've always thought it was headed there. I just think now it's starting to get more real.
I just think this one's unmistakable. And it's just so, it must be so aggravating for the fans, the media, the organization. Has tried so hard to just squelch that thought that they can't coexist. He's begging you to believe that he doesn't want to coexist with it. So to imply that this year was that much fun, well then, what's it going to be when it goes back to the way it was? Not as much. So what are you leaving me to believe? And again, it's pretty obvious in that case. So that's kind of our lead thought on the Celtics. Your calls right after these words.
Mike and Tony have a definite chemistry.
Are they?
100%.
Are they?
Yes, 100. Do I stutter?
Do you
Consider them the periodic table of sports talk.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Sorry. We need to blow a gasket.
No. Blow it, baby. Blow it.
Felger and Mazz.
No matter how you try to explain it, guys, it's bold type headline in Boston. And that's been a problem because winning that championship a couple of years ago should have been the end of the Tatum Brown debate and the arguments and the conversations about who's more important. That should have been over. What Jaylen Brown did was breathe life into it on his own personal accord, on his own social media. He was at a podium after the series ended. He talked to the media in those situations, never once said anything like this. But in a private moment, well, not private, but in his own moment where he controls the message, he chose to say something like that now has created a new conversation or renewed a conversation in Boston about their two stars.
Jayson Tatum's out for most of the year, out on Saturday night, and Jaylen Brown comes out after the game. So that's a part Han got wrong. That Brown has done this a couple times this year. Brown has said a couple of different times this year, this is the most fun he's had playing basketball. Mm-hmm. His most fun season, his favorite season. He said things like this all year. And he didn't just do it on the stream. He did it at the podium. But what else are you left to think? You play most of the year without Jayson Tatum. You play Saturday night without Jayson Tatum. And then after the season in the game, which was a fail, on the scoreboard, he says how much fun he had and how he liked the way they played. He's just begging you to think something. So maybe it's true. Maybe he wants out or he wants his own team. I don't know what else I've been led to believe. Sean in the car. Back to your calls. What do you got, Sean?
Hey, guys. Thanks so much for taking my call. Really appreciate it. I'm trying to get my mind wrapped around the analytics conversation because I've heard you guys mention that a bunch of times for the last couple weeks. And I'm just trying to understand, like, analytics are supposed to kind of show you what's working and what's not working. And then you formulate a game plan around that. So with the three-point shots and all that stuff, and Joe and Mike, I think I heard you say Joe Mazzulla defends the three-point game, and it's not working. What is their reasoning? Has anybody come up with an idea what their reasoning is for continuing to work with something that's not working?
I think their regular season stats, their big bulk stats, which are based primarily on the regular season sample, shows you the efficiency of a given shot. And so take that shot. I don't think, as most analytics, as we've talked to people who have talked to people in the analytics departments in all these sports, they don't factor in situation. Time on the scoreboard, time on the clock. That never factors in. Whether a team in football should go for it on fourth down or kick a field goal. They don't factor in time or score. As silly as that sounds. Now listen, if it's 1 second left and you've got to kick a field goal from short distance, I mean, they're all going to kick it. But in the bulk of the game, in the body of the game, they go for it. Because that's what the analytics show, because you're not supposed to factor in time and situation. So I think this is what happens. So I'm just trying to answer your question. If it doesn't work on a championship level, why do they keep doing it? I can't tell you. But I think they just base all their decisions on the big sample analytics. So that's what they go with. It doesn't work, so why do they keep doing it? It's an excellent question. I wish I had an answer for you.
Well, and it also misses the biggest point of all, which is that the regular season numbers don't apply to the playoffs. And that's true in just about every sport. Like, they're not the same. If they want to do an analytics study, why don't they take the numbers from the Knicks series, take the numbers from the Sixers series, and see what it shows them? Because it would show them that when they commit to the three-pointer and the other team's playing some sort of defense or makes the game different, they can't win.
And it's, defense is a big part of it, but it's also the pressure of a situation. But analysts don't believe in clutch and late. They don't believe in pressure situations. They think that's a false flag. So they don't believe. In other words, the kick-out corner three to Peyton Pritchard. The analytics community that's taken over basketball wants you to make that pass and that shot every time. It's the most efficient shot in basketball, according to them. But they think that it's all apples to apples, that shot in the middle of November is the same as it is in Game 7 with a minute 45 left, up a point, fighting for your playoff lives. When it's a completely different shot, because humans are taking it, but they don't factor that in.
No, they don't.
Because there's no way to quantify it.
Correct.
Right? They can't plug that into their equation. The human emotion of increased adrenaline or the tightness of a pressure situation, they can't quantify that, so they can't put that into an algorithm. What they can put in is the amount, the
distance of the shot, how much space you had to shoot it,
and what that shot typically, the percentage under which that typically goes in. And that's just what they're driven by. And a coach that's driven just by that is lesser of a coach, Joe Mazzulla. The good coaches take that, but when the situation dictates, ignores it for the real life situation, which, like I said before, I think like Vrabel is a good example of that. I think they're analytically driven, but I've seen him on multiple occasions sort of put that aside and make a football call versus an analytic call. I don't see Joe Mazzulla making basketball calls. I don't. Jake in Boston. Hi, Jake.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I want Tatum and Brown both gone. Like, trade both of them. The title was fake. They should burn the banner down, take down the photos. What's the point of having two Supermax players if one's going to bench himself in a Game 7 and the other's satisfied losing in round 1? And I hate to defend private equity and Billy Chisholm here, but we learned a decade ago that you don't need a particularly talented team to get a top 2 seed in the East. Kelly Olynyk, Jay Crowder, Isaiah Thomas did that. The Pistons are doing it now. So what's the point of this ownership group committing $100 million a year on these two losers to lose in round 1?
Okay, I'm just going to cut you off. I just think it's not a realistic take.
But one, I think you might see moved.
One might go. I wouldn't do either. For all that we're talking about today, I'd keep them together and try and get to Jaylen Brown somehow.
I still think the offense they were playing in late March, early April is the best offense I've seen them play with Tatum and Brown on the floor together.
Or get to Tatum somehow. Get to them. Work with them. Change your stupid play style. Probably change the coach and work with these guys and make Jaylen Brown more comfortable with his role or increase his role and decrease the other guy's role. But I wouldn't move on from either of them. I'd try and make it work. But Brown's the one that needs the work because he's obviously itchy with what he's currently being asked to do.
Mike, if they can play like they played again in that little stretch at the end of the season, there's no need to make a change. The level of basketball that they were playing, and again, it was a small sample, but if they can play off one another like that, there's no reason to split them out.
Mike in the car, go. I said, Mike in the car, go.
Talking to me? I'm not in a car, but yeah, I'll talk to you.
Okay, wherever you are, Mike on line 7. Go ahead, please.
I'm talking about when the guy called about Brown calling Tatum a superstar. You guys never played that full quote.
Okay, I don't know what he's talking about. Did someone look it up?
I'll tell you what he's talking about. He said, it was tough playing without one of our best players, superstar Jayson Tatum, and his next line was, it probably would have helped if he was out there on the court. Like, he called him out, literally.
So you think that? So you're saying, and the previous caller would relax.
I think Brown thinks Tatum is soft.
Okay, so you think that was a call out? You think he said that in a derogatory fashion?
Absolutely. The one that you're wondering about he was directly saying that without using Tatum's name. But the next quote, he couldn't help himself, and he called out Tatum.
I understand. Okay, Mike, thank you.
Why wouldn't Tatum at least play 5 minutes at the end of the game? Brown has everything but Tatum's talent as a basketball player. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah.
Tatum has nothing but his raw talent. All he wants to do, Mazz was right. They build the offense around him to play soft and have him shoot threes the whole time.
Okay, Mike. I'm sorry, Michael. Thank you for your call. Back there, he's not in a car.
I just looked at it as excuse making. See, now that Tatum's not here, well, what were you supposed to do?
Why was he so angry that he wasn't in the car? Does it matter?
You guys still haven't played the cut? When are you going to play it?
But listen, I said in the car. I'm sorry you're not in the car. Okay? Don't take it personal. Wherever you are.
Guy should be a talk show host.
He was nice and angry.
He got edge. He's got some edge to him.
Okay.
What the hell's wrong with you people?
So now I do want to hear it.
Me too.
But let me say this. I think that whole thing now is something to consider. Jaylen Brown really didn't know until 45 minutes before the game.
So my guess is that this is what he's really pissed about.
That's wrong.
Yeah, it is wrong. They should have included him in the process.
On so many levels.
Yes, you have to keep him abreast of what's going on. It impacts him more than anybody. The whole game changes for Brown if Tatum's not out there. The other guys are still scrubs.
Why would they not have him directly in the loop?
They should have.
And if, you baby Celtics fans, if Brown and Tatum are so tight and so good and so perfect, why didn't Tatum tell him? Why aren't they in contact? Why, Gronkowski or Brady are questionable for a big game. You don't think they know every freaking hangnail? And if one of them's going to be out, it's like, listen, bro, this is on you. And they got like that whole thing going on the entire time.
See, and this is the part that Brown really resents, is that whole thing happened without him knowing what the hell was going on. That's the part he resents. That the nucleus of the Celtics is Brown, Mazzulla, and maybe Derek White knew and he didn't. I don't know. Did anyone ask Derek White when he knew? Because I bet you Tatum told him.
Well, I'm sorry to lash out, but it's like there's something not right about this. There's something not right about this.
Well, someone needs to ask Brad Stevens about it tomorrow morning.
I mean, either it should be Tatum and Brown. If they're that good and they're that joined at the hip and they're that important to each other and the team, why wouldn't they be constantly in contact if a guy's questionable for a massive game like that? And, you can get kind of corny with it, but it's sports. I mean, this is what happens. Listen, Jaylen, I'm not going to make it. This is all about you. We need you. I need you. So get ready. I'm not going to be there tomorrow. It's about you, my man. You know what I mean? Like that sort of stuff.
Of course.
So there's none of that. Or even then the coach. Like, I would imagine a guy like Pat Riley, if one of his guys was out and he knew whatever, Kareem wasn't going to be out, he goes to Magic the night before and says, listen,
you're playing center.
This is on you.
Like he did with Magic as a rookie.
And instead, no one's going to know until 45 minutes before the game? What's wrong with that? I mean, something's wrong with that.
I agree. Yeah, to me, that's a big one. He should have been involved in that process. There's no way that the star, the second star in the Celtics can go into Game 7 of a playoff series and find out 45 minutes before the opening tip that his sidekick or
this is really about this is another reason why Mazzulla is overmatched. The whole organization should be wired where those two are in contact, Brown and Tatum, and they should be together. But if they're not, it's the coach then just to realize the dynamics. But he's not capable because he's just a numbers guy. This is not anything that analysts or guys driven by stats even think about. God, I don't know why I'm getting wound up about that, but it's telling. Yes, Stu?
Would you like to hear from Jaylen Brown on this superstar comment?
Yeah,
yes, definitely. Yes, let's play it.
Hear it for Mike in the car or wherever he is.
You still haven't played the comment.
He's still not in the car.
I'm not in my car.
Go.
But the style we played tonight, I think that, that's a great style. How we just play fast and freer. I think we played a little bit more pace than we had in the previous games. And, I felt great about how our team responded. Obviously down. One of our best player, our superstar Jayson Tatum wasn't there, which could have helped. But I'm proud of my team.
My team. Is he calling out Tatum there, or is
I didn't
think he was
way.
excuse making.
Well, I think he brought up Tatum there because he knew how that first part sounded. Again, the first part. Listen to him carry on about how much he liked the way that they played.
Yeah.
So that, rightfully, as we've been talking about all day, reflects on Tatum. Why are you so happy with how you played? Tatum wasn't there. So maybe he thought in his mind, well, listen, I got to shout out Tatum here because otherwise people are going to think I'm talking about how much I liked playing without him.
He called him our best player.
So is he calling Tatum out for being soft, or is he trying to soften the blow of what he's really trying to say there? I like to play the beginning part of it again. This is the telling part to me.
But the style we played tonight, I think that, that's a great style. How we just play fast and freer. I think we played a little bit more pace than we had in the previous game.
Than we had in the previous game in which Tatum played but then got hurt. He's carrying on about how much he liked the way they played. They lost. Never mind that.
He hates the pace with Tatum.
He hates the pace with Tatum.
And look, I understand that one because, again, Tatum, the dribbling out at the top of the circle is like freaking annoying. He just sucks the life out of the shot clock, completely drains the blood out of the offense. It is brutal. And Brown must be looking at it going, this is ridiculous. Can we move? Hurry up. Let's go. I think that's what he doesn't like more than anything. That Tatum is allowed to do whatever he wants and is never called on it. And then Tatum isn't playing and nobody tells him. That to me is what it is. He doesn't feel included in it.
That last thing is just that stinks. There's something really not right about that. Brown not knowing until 45 minutes before the game. You a team? And what kind of healthy team does that exist?
It doesn't.
Crazy.
I mean, the scenario you're talking about happened in the finals, Magic's rookie year.
Well, but it's any coach that understands humans and you're playing ball and sports and one guy's out, it's now on you. You don't just spring it on him 45 minutes before the game. You get to him and motivate him with it. But no, not here. Joe's worried about his freaking efficiency ratings and the corner three. And the process, this gobbledygook, this bulk, this crap, this drivel, this all this nonsense that he spews.
Duality.
Oh, God. All right. I got good and wound up there. Here's Murray's update. We're back with one final segment of your wonderful phone calls.
He's not in his car, Murray.
Oh, yeah. Thoughts, calls, emails. Oh, yeah. I get my jollies out of it. I do. I'm not a good person. Go ahead.
Felger and Mazz.
Oh, yeah.
98.5, the Sports Hub.
You can miss me with all this shit. You up 3-1. Motherfucker, your ass flops at times to sell calls. I don't want to hear that. It was no agenda whatsoever. The agenda was that y'all couldn't make shots. The agenda was that y'all refused to switch up y'all style of play of shooting threes after threes after threes when at times y'all could have drove the damn basketball and went got some fucking layups or put some pressure on the referees. The referees are not going to give the Celtics calls because they shoot a lot of jump shots. Y'all was up 3-1 in this series. You lost 3 home games in the Boston Garden. 3. It used to be a sacred place. It used to be a hard place to win, for opponents to win games in there. But instead, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid walked into your motherfucking crib, shoes all muddy, went kick their feet up on your coffee table, ordered DoorDash with your credit card. That's how comfortable they was. Rubbing their toes, wiggling their toes together. So don't come telling me about an agenda that the league or the referees or anybody had towards y'all. Take ownership, 0 excuses. I don't want to hear this. Philadelphia 76ers kicked y'all ass. They did what they were supposed to do. Y'all didn't do anything, starting from the coaches on down to you. To you, JB.
So Jaylen Brown's catching a lot of grief in the last 24, 48 hours, and I think rightfully so. Mostly for blaming the refs and the flopping and all of that. That's been the national concern. But the thing about talking about how much fun he had this year and on Saturday night is, I think, most important for our purposes. And more insight into how he just valued being the lead dog here and how much fun he had doing it, even in defeat. So what does that mean for his future here? That's the item there. JJ and Drake, it says it definitely is personal between Brown and Tatum. State your evidence, JJ.
Yeah, it's definitely personal because it's always personal with Jaylen Brown, right? Everything that Tatum has been given and probably didn't deserve since his rookie year is what Jaylen Brown always complains about, right? If you listen to what he says, he's a smart guy. He's very measured. He's thankful. He says his name. He lets it hang out there. Superstar Jayson Tatum. And, you know, Mr. Verbal Breadcrumbs over there, for you to dismiss it like that, maybe you're compromised. Friend of Chisholm.
Not yet. If he starts hooking me up down low, then maybe.
He starts seeing the floor seats.
But I do think he was very measured. I think he says things for a reason, and I do think that was for a reason, Mike.
Okay, well, listen, I'm definitely not compromised, and I'd love to read into something.
So I think – oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I think he's right about Jaylen Brown taking most things personally. This is part of what the problem is that in Jaylen Brown's mind, like on the one hand, he'll call Jayson Tatum our best player, but he resents the fact that he's not part of that group.
Yes. So
you see what I mean?
But I like people try and reduce it to a personality conflict, which I don't think it, like Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, like not just were they envious of each other and their roles, I think they really personally didn't like each other.
Correct.
I don't think this is that.
No, me neither. It's not personal.
Kurt Schilling and who did Schilling jump ugly on? Butch Stearns for implying that it was Schilling and Pedro.
It was Butch Stearns because Pedro and Schilling didn't get along.
Yeah, Butch was right.
Just because we don't play grab ass on the field before the game.
No, Schilling's obviously a liar. The guys had problems with Kurt Schilling, personal problems with Schilling. There's other situations that we can think of where it was personal. I've never sensed that it's personal between Brown and Tatum.
No, I don't think it is either. I think it has more to do with the fact that Jaylen Brown wants what Jayson Tatum has.
Yeah, so like if Brown has a beef with anyone, really, it's the Celtics. And even though I think he's good with the organization, I think he's just...
His beef is with his situation.
Yes,
that's it.
That's right.
There's nothing with Tatum. Again, they've made it work. They won a championship. But now he'd like to do his own thing. That's it.
I'd be surprised if he called him out for sitting this game out when he could have played. Give it to me one more time. Let me see if I can pick it up. Let me really go Felger and Mazz. Come on. Let me just really dial it in.
Away. But the style we played tonight, I think that, that's a great style. We just played fast and freer. I think we played a little bit more pace than we had in the previous games.
So I'm just stop. I definitely read into that. I think that's, whether he's intending to or not, is definitely a shot at Jayson Tatum. And my guess is that he realizes it in the middle of this comment and so decides to throw Tatum a compliment to try and call off the dogs because that's such an obvious indictment of Tatum that he really liked the way we played tonight and we were playing with more pace than we had been in previous games. Well, what's the common denominator? There was no Tatum. So that's easy to read into that, and he knows it, which is why I think he tries to correct it. But go ahead. Pick it up.
Previous games. And, I felt great about how our team responded. Obviously down one of our best player, our, superstar, Jayson Tatum, wasn't there, which could have helped. But I'm proud of my team.
Yeah, so that pause, I might give you something. What's he saying in that pause?
Well, no, that's fair. There was a big pause there. Play it again.
No,
enough.
No, that pause is long. How long is that pause? That long?
I felt great about how our team responded. Obviously down one of our best player, our superstar, Jayson Tatum, wasn't there, which could have helped. But I'm proud of my team.
That's a 5-second pause.
7.
I'll give you something in there. I'll give you something in those 7 seconds.
So I still think he's more pissed about the fact that they didn't tell him. And that, again, it would have been...
So in that 7 seconds, he said it would have been nice. It would have nice to have known.
Yeah, that's what I think. Would have been nice if they told us. If we had some, if they had included us and kept us in the loop, that would have been good. I'm telling you, I don't think it's a Tatum thing per se. I think it's what Tatum represents. Tatum is an obstacle for him. Tatum's in his way. And until Tatum is out of the picture, he won't get to drive the car. So I think that's what it is. I don't think he looks at Tatum and goes, this guy's an a-hole. He doesn't appreciate me. I don't think it's that. I don't. I really don't.
Let's do an email, shall we, please?
Okay.
It's the Coleman Electric email of the day. Dear Felger, I really hate you. And I think Mazz is a boob.
It's electric.
The Coleman Electric email of the day.
It's electric.
Send yours to Felger at 985thesportshub.com.
Email today is brought to you by Coleman Electric, a bunch of really good electricians helping homeowners like you. When you need an electrician, you want to call Coleman. It's electric.
It is electric.
KUHLMAN, panel replacements, old wiring. You got an old house with old wiring, and it's got to come out. It's a fire hazard. Okay, you have trouble getting house or home owner's insurance, but it's dangerous. So get rid of that. Jesse Coleman wrote a book on it, okay? So that's the guy that you want to call. Coleman Electric, Kuhlman. Our printer's down, so I printed all these emails out, and now I can't get them, and now I've lost them.
Boy.
So I'll just sum up. I got a lot of emails about my eye, like a black eye. You got a black eye, Felger? What's going on with the black eye?
You? I was going to ask you this.
Yeah, what's with the sty in your eye? What's the eye? It's not a black eye.
It's a bag under your eyes.
It's a sty. I know that is immediate. I deal with these all the time.
So what is a sty exactly?
It's like an infection, basically.
It's like it's like a clogged pore, basically.
Okay, so it's sore.
Yeah.
So
stop touching it.
I'm touching the underneath.
Don't
you're
touch
touching it.
All right, I haven't been touching it, but I'm all banged up.
Peter,
I'm all banged up. So is that poop in the eye?
No,
that's conjunctivitis.
Pink eye.
No, conjunctivitis is the poop in the eye. Yeah.
Well, how's the sty happen? What's
it's
the
like
sty?
It's like having a big zit. Basically, it's a clogged pore.
And it's just
oils
random.
and
it's random.
Oxecute it.
You were out and about over the last few days.
Oh my
right?
God!
So it's probably dust. And I've been to. You went to Jazz Fest.
I was at Jazz Fest in New Orleans.
It's a dusty affair
God.
if it's kind of dry.
Oh my God!
Is that old racetrack?
That whole town is one big dose of bacteria.
Filthy.
Yeah. So all that
filthy
that dust and stuff in the air got clogged in a pore, and that's what you're dealing with.
The fairgrounds where it's at during the day.
Yeah.
Just massive humanity.
Kicking up all the filth and the dirt and everything.
And then it's out all effing night, like in these little bars, jam-packed with people. New Orleans, on its best day, isn't our cleanest city. Filthy. I've just been, like, rolling around in filth.
That's supposed to blow Mardi Gras out of the water.
For 3 straight days. It's tremendous.
Oh, it's great.
I've heard that. I've heard it's better than Mardi Gras.
It's tremendous. I would do it over Mardi Gras. I've done both. I do it over Mardi Gras 100 times out of 100.
That's what I hear.
Clean cloth. You got to put a lot of hot water on it, and then you put that sucker on your sty in your eye until that helps to drain it out.
It's called a compress.
Yeah.
A hot compress.
Hot compress.
A warm
Real
compress.
hot. Not warm. Hot.
Hot. It doesn't need to be hot, Mazz.
I don't know if you want to get too hot. You don't want
Boiling hot.
You don't want to scorch your eyeball.
I've been told I need to share all this. Yes. So, yes. That's the answer to that. It's not a black eye, and it's not poop in my eye. Go.
The other way you can get it is to sit in this chair from 2 to 6 because the guy before is a human dust ball.
Listen, caller 10 to the contest line. You want something for free? 617-931-0985. We'll score a pair of tickets to Dave Attell at the Wilbur. Comedy legend Dave Attell is bringing his razor-sharp wit to the Wilbur on May 16th. Come and see why Attell is one of the funniest and most influential voices in stand-up comedy today. Tickets on sale now at thewilbur.com. As what? You're not going to make a snide comment? This is a sponsor.
Well, no, I know. I'll wait for the break.
Okay. Final word comes your way right now. Hey, it's Felger here.
Now on Felger and Mazz.
It's the final
We're recapping this 4-hour show in 4 minutes, which leads to the question, does it really need to be 4 hours long?
No.
Final word brought to you by Town Fair Tire. If you're looking for the best deal on tires, there's only one place to go, and that's Town Fair Tire. The best prices and great free services. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire.
Nobody.
Nope.
Well, Mazz turned into a superhero of sorts on the show today. We call him the human emergency brake.
If the Toronto pick lands in the top 5 this year, the pick would move to 2027 with heavy conditions.
You mean if it's outside of the top 5?
If the pick lands, so again, what Vinny cut and pasted from the Sporting News has a typo. If the Toronto pick lands outside the top 5 this year. No, Mazz. Why'd you just confuse me? Why'd you do that?
Sorry, go.
If it lands in the top 5 this year, the Bruins don't get the first round pick.
Correct, but you said it conveys to sorry, the way you read it. The way you read it
just confused me.
No, the way you read it made it sound like if it lands in the top 5, it conveys to another year.
It does.
Right.
No,
because the Bruins don't get it.
I'm talking about this year's pick. The way you read it made it sound like this year's pick goes to another year. You mean the Bruins, it doesn't become the Bruins' property is what you mean. Keep going. It's your fault. The way you read it, never mind, just go. I heard it differently than what you said.
I'm
read
begging
it wrong.
you.
Should have just let him read.
I'm begging you. I'm begging you.
Read it wrong. You said it conveys like you were talking about the same pick. But
I am.
Go. You don't understand what I'm saying. You're wrong. Just go.
Toronto owes the Bruins their first round pick.
Correct.
If it lands in the top 5 this year, tonight, this draft, the pick would move to 2027.
Correct.
With heavy conditions. 2027. And
Correct.
now we're going to get taken.
This is not my fault.
This is your fault.
This is not my fault.
Now we're going to go down because of you.
Yep.
That's static. So that actually happened. The feed, the broadcast cut out right at that moment.
That was the radio god saying, this is radio.
That was the radio god saying, please
stop.
For the love of God, for the sake of our medium, just stop. God pulled the plug on that one. The radio gods literally interrupted the broadcast, so we didn't keep doing that.
Marconi himself from the grave.
Oh, God. It's so us. All right. What do you got, Mazz, coming up with the baseball hour?
So I have a big question as it pertains to the Red Sox. It has nothing to do with the game last night. I've made myself a promise. I'm not talking about the games in terms of the actual, stuff that happens on the field that led to a win or a loss. Because, frankly, I don't think the story about the Red Sox has anything to do with the games anymore. Unless or until they turn it around and get back in the race and play good baseball for an extended period of time, I think they're a clown show. So the question is, what are they? Who's in charge? How's the thing running? And something occurred to me today that scares the hell out of me.
That's coming up shortly after 6 o'clock with the baseball hour. Otherwise, we're back at it tomorrow at 2. Stevens talks in the morning. Bruins, Neely, Sweeney, Charlie, I don't know, talk at 2 o'clock. So we'll have some
full day,
some things to react to, shall we say. Almost all starts tomorrow too. We'll talk to you then.
See you, bye.